what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I just thought I'd make this quick video talking about something that I have been thinking about for a long time. It's just kind of this idea that you have on things. Sometimes it's like an insight, I guess. And I came about this idea when I started seeing this type of situation or this type of problem in movies and series and stories, right? And it has to do with couples. And since we're in the spirit of Valentine's Day, I thought I'd make a video explaining this. So here are the three reasons why couples break up. The first one has to do with babies or having children. So let's say that in these three reasons, I wanna make sure that this is known. We're talking about relationships where there are apparently no type of problems. So two people that get along just fine, they love each other, everything is great, right? And this is not nothing. This has nothing to do with toxic relationships or any of that sort. So two people that love each other, that are together, building their life together, and one of them, it doesn't matter who, the boy or the girl, they want a baby, and the other one doesn't want a baby, right? So when there's this disagreement between, should we have a baby or should we not have a baby, then that can lead to a potential breakup. Because if somebody does want a baby and the other one doesn't want a baby, more often than not, they will break up. I saw this in Friends with the relationship between Monica and Richard. So I think Monica wanted a kid; she wanted to have babies, and Richard, he didn't want to have kids because he was too old, or so that's what he said, or so he thought, he was too old. And just fine relationship, healthy relationship. They were good together. They loved each other, but they ended up splitting because of this. They broke up because of this, right? Okay, so the first one, deciding whether or not to have children. The second one has to do with deciding where to live. So the first one's babies. The second one is where to live, or place of to live, right? So I saw this one in Suits with Lewis and Sheila. And in Suits, they're both, well, Lewis is a lawyer, and I think he wanted to stay in New York, and Sheila wanted to move to, I think she was a teacher, or she worked at some university. And they say, and they end up having like this big argument because he wants to stay there, she wants to move. So ultimately they end up breaking up. Again, they loved each other, everything was working just fine. They had their little ups and downs, but nothing catastrophic. And they end up breaking up because of this. At the end of the series, spoiler alert, you can skip this part if you don't want me to spoil the end of Suits with in relation to Sheila and Lewis. But they end up sticking together, right? I forget how they solved that issue, but obviously one of them has to compromise. Because if someone wants to live in A and the other one wants to live in B, right, like permanently, that is a problem, right? And that can often lead couples to breaking up. Now, the third reason, so the first one was babies, the second one is where to live, and the third one is just basically having different lifestyles or different life routes, right? What I mean by life routes is where you're destined to go in life. Like, I want to go this way. So lifestyles can also be, if you are with someone and you both love each other, but maybe one of you works a lot, doesn't have time for the other person in the relationship, has all these sorts of aspirations. They have to be traveling a lot. They have to go and live abroad, or work abroad. Or maybe it doesn't have to be that complicated. We don't have to get to long distance relationships because of this. Everybody changes, everybody evolves, right? You're not the same person you were 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So as you evolve and as you change, your personality changes, your habits, your lifestyle, right? So you may be with someone, but then eventually you kind of decide to split, but not in the relationship. Your personalities just don't match up anymore, and that I would say that's probably the saddest way to break up. And I would also say that's probably the most common and the most obvious way in which couples break up, because think about I don't know, two students, right? They fall in love. They're in high school, they're in college, whatever, or they're working together or something like that. And then as soon as they leave that place, right? Like let's say teenagers, as soon as they leave high school, or young adults, as soon as they leave college, they obviously start going into different routes, into different lifestyles, right? Maybe they were one person while they were in school, right? But as soon as they leave school, they become a different person. This could also happen when you meet someone at work, right? Or you meet someone with a certain group of friends, and then, and I think that's actually also the most common type of breakup, because you can be with someone, and during that stage in your life, both of you were compatible. But as life goes on, and as you change and the other person changes, you may like end up becoming incompatible, right? Do I have examples of this? Not really. I haven't really seen it in series or movies or stories, but I think it is the third reason why couples would break up. I mean, not getting into any of that toxic, characteristics of a relationship or toxic traits. Now, just let me finish up with these last couple of words. I want to say that maybe subconsciously, some part of you, maybe, or some part of both of the people in the relationship, may have wanted to break up, right? And they'll find that reason, which could be, whether or not they have kids, where they live, or if they're just going into different routes. And they'll leave it there. They'll break up peacefully, amicably, right? I think they say it. So it could have been because of other reasons too, but it's the way things work is kind of crazy. So it could appear it was because of babies, like they wanted babies and you didn't, or whatever. But in reality, it could have been because of these other reasons that you maybe aren't telling yourself, right? So I just thought I'd throw that in there, because that's also kind of interesting to think about. So let me know what you think. Do you think I'm right, or do you think there are other reasons why healthy couples would break up? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.